What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Let's talk about the Lightyear controversy with Snoop Dogg. A lot of conversation going on with what he said about him watching that with his grandson. Now, Lightyear came out 3 years ago, had a budget of $200 million, only made 226.4 million worldwide. That's a loss because you have to give half back to the movie theaters. So they lost an estimate of $106 million. A lot of controversy around that scene with the two moms. It was a very quick scene, a quick kiss, and they were holding their child. And Snoop Dogg is in trouble because he shared his experience with his grandson. He said this from that park place. I didn't come for this. He was blindsided by, the two mom scene. Again, he's just having a good time with his grandson. He doesn't want to even deal with this. The problem is that folks are, they try to lecture you on like, oh, you got to be more open-minded. These are folks who either don't have kids or want to force your ideas on them. Is that when parents are raising their kids, like I have a son and we're very busy raising him. There's a lot of work going involved. You got to teach them. You got to make sure, you give them right lessons. There's a lot that you have to think about throughout the day, throughout their development. And you're always keeping up with them because they grow up so fast. So in the midst of all the busyness, when they go see a movie, they just want to be entertained. They don't want to talk about, oh, why that scene happened with a 6-year-old kid. They don't want to do that. They rather wait till like they're 12 years old, 13 years old, 15 years old to discuss those topics because it's just a child. And again, I'll keep saying it, Disney is for kids. If you want to put adult content in your movies or your TV shows, do it in front of a Netflix audience or a Max audience or these other streaming services that push out adult content. If you want to make cartoon content, go to Cartoon Network and make Adult Swim stuff. The reason why parents don't like this is because it's being pushed towards kids. And that's why when you hear like the mob on the left trying to just make them feel bad for what they say, they represent about 5% of the country. It doesn't make people racist or sexist or narcissists. They just don't want that in children's programming. That's it. It doesn't mean you can't live your life. It doesn't mean you can't choose who you want to be attracted to. As a Christian, you don't have to believe in what I believe in. You don't have to support my idea that I believe Jesus is God. That's fine. You have your right to your opinion. I have right to my opinion. We're going to disagree, but guess what? Live your life. And that's the biggest thing is like the parents don't want to be lectured about this stuff. They don't be, going to a kid's programming movie when they're just trying to relax and be entertained. And then they get blindsided. Like, as you see here, he openly criticized the Disney Pixar film Lightyear for inserting a same-sex parent subplot into what was marketed as a children's adventure. You didn't see this back in the day. And Disney's been pushing this for really like the past, 6 years now. And he says here, I didn't come for this blank. Snoop Dogg's just trying to hang out with his grandson. I see no harm in that whatsoever. Do I agree with Snoop Dogg's lifestyle? No, I don't. So I'm not focused on that right now. I'm not going to go back and forth. He got all that money. He's going to rap about whatever he wants. At the end of the day, he's going to live his life, right? But I do understand his frustrations because he's here to just hang out with his kid or his grandson in this case. Snoop continued by saying the scene threw him for a loop and left him scared to go to the movies now because children naturally have questions parents and grandparents may not be ready or willing, that's a keyword, to answer in your theater setting. Again, you're going in to grab your popcorn, your drinks, your sodas, and just to chill and have a good time. You're trying to get away from all the society issues going on. And you're trying to just focus on let's be entertained, and it's simply that. And Snoop Dogg, he might get canceled for this. There is a report from the he's supposed to show up at this AFL grand finale, and they want him off. They want him canceled. Says here, Australian senator calls for Snoop Dogg to be removed from AFL final, and he called his remarks a slur merchant. And I'm gonna play the clip for you guys because you can judge if this is a slur statement from Snoop Dogg. Let me go ahead and play it, and we'll get right back to what they had to say.
I took my grandson to see what was the movie with Buzz Light?
Toy Story?
Not that one, but
the new Buzz. The Lightyear. I think it's called Lightyear.
Yeah, with Keke Palmer's in that movie.
Okay.
She plays like the daughter. So we watching it, and the lady, which is Keke's mama, they move on into the space years. They move down the line. They're like, man, she had a baby with a woman.
Again, this is the grandson asking the question, not Snoop Dogg. He's just chilling with his grandson. The kid is asking the question. He's like, why is there two moms? Granddad, why? Why is this happening? Kids are curious. They're going to do that. And the thing is, like, I don't want to talk about this. I'm just trying to relax. But now I have to tell them what's happening. It's like, that's not what parents want. You can live your life, you can have a good time, but if parents don't want to participate in this, they have every right to express their opinions. And that's why people who are trying to shove this ideology, like I said, they either don't have kids or they want to force you into a way of thinking, are losing the audience. You're losing. It's not working. Just live your life. That's really it. We're going to have difference of opinions. We're going to have different viewpoints. But at the end of the day, we can agree to disagree and just move on. It's just really that simple.
Well, my grandson in the middle of the movie, like, Papa Snoop, how she have a baby with a woman? She a woman. I didn't come in. I just came to watch the movie. Hey, man, watch the movie. They just said she had a baby. They both women. How did she have a baby?
You see, now when parents are watching this with their kids, like, I'm just here to watch something, be entertained. As Snoop Dogg says, I'm just here to chill and relax with my grandkid. Now I got to explain to him what's happening. It's like, that's the last thing I want to do when I'm watching a movie. And that's the problem with this ideology and this woke stuff. People and like parents, traditional parents, don't want to watch it. They don't want to, have this, in front of their kids' eyes. Like my son, as he grows up, you can call me whatever you want. He ain't watching this stuff. I don't support it. You can call me whatever you want. You can call me sexist, narcissist. Oh, I'm, shielding my kid. That's my value, my standard. And that's okay. Everyone has different values and standards they live by. But to name call people and to, smear them in their character, that's why you're losing. And it's not going to work. Like, Disney's trying to cater to a minority of people when the majority of people feel a certain way about this situation. And it just isn't going to end well for Disney.
Shh. The movie ain't over with. So it's like, I'm scared to go to the movies now. Like, y'all throwing me in the that I don't have an answer for.
And people got offended by that. Is that a homophobic statement? No, he's literally talking to his kid about this. Like, that's really it. He's just having a conversation. It's not that deep. And people said, oh, that's a slur merchant. And they rather back an Aussie talent. And we'll see if it brings in the same, response from their fans. And I know, like, there's other controversial stuff Snoop Dogg has done. I get that. Why wasn't that talked about? Like, he has other things he's done that are very vulgar with his music. Yet because he was sharing his experience with his grandson about a lesbian scene, well, not really a scene, just a quick, it was a very quick scene where they shared a kiss, you have a problem with it. But you don't have a problem with his other lifestyle. Like, it's just so hypocritical to me, the way people think about this stuff. And now they want him gone. They want him off the show. And two things are going to happen here. Number one, either Snoop Dogg's going to apologize. I don't think he will, but maybe he wants the money. So he might bow down and say, okay, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it that way. Even though he did nothing wrong. He's just sharing an experience with his grandson. The grandson asked the question. Don't forget that. So is the grandson sexist, narcissist? Like, is he wrong for asking that question? Well, if the grandson doesn't, agree with that lifestyle, is he wrong for thinking that way? That's his opinion, And parents have every right to raise their kids the way they want to. And if you think that's messed up or like, oh, you're shunning them, you're teaching them the wrong way. No, that's how they want to raise their kids. Like, just get over it. And parents don't like this stuff going on. And if Disney wants to continue to play this game, they're going to keep losing their audience. I can promise you that. A lot of stuff I watch on Disney Plus now is a lot of old stuff because the content doesn't have this agenda in it. Do I still pay attention to what's out there that's being released? Of course, because there's some stuff that isn't like this super woke stuff where they're pushing this down kids' throats. But I have to pay attention to it now, and that's kind of annoying. I mean, I understand you got to watch what your kids are investing in and what they're being entertained by. But man, it feels like you got to do extra homework now, and that can be annoying to parents. So what's going to happen is, I only have so much time during my day. I'm just going to turn off Disney altogether because I don't want to have to spend like an hour watching this cartoon show, whether I should have my kid, invest in it or not. Like, they don't want to spend their time doing that. They'd rather raise their kid, teach them, and go about their day because they work hard. They got to, pay for stuff. They got to take care of stuff. The last thing they want to be doing is just sitting there for an hour trying to figure out, oh, whether should my kid watch this or a 2-hour movie and is it woke or not? Like, they don't want to do that. So what's going to happen is either like me, they'll just watch old content and they'll do the homework on certain things, or they will just turn off Disney altogether. It's just really that simple to me. And I'm just very curious to see if Disney's going to continue down this road. There was obviously an article last week where they talked about they want men back. And it's like, You should have never shunned the men in the first place by pushing the girl boss agendas, and it just didn't work out for them, did it? And now they're trying to figure out, how can we get the audience back from men? Now, is Disney like down and out? They still got a ton of money. It's going to take more time for them to really feel it. Parents who are traditional and don't want to spend all this time doing homework about a movie, you're going to lose that audience, and the next generation, Disney might really feel it. We shall see, though, if Disney decides to actually pivot and start just making good content again and entertaining their fan base. But if they don't, it's just really sad to see. And for Snoop Dogg, I hope he doesn't apologize. He didn't do anything wrong. He just shared an experience about what his grandson said, and he can say he's scared to go to the movies, and he has every right to say that. Whether you like it or not, that's his right as a human being. Hope you guys enjoyed this video today. I'd love to hear your thoughts about what Snoop Dogg had to say about his grandson's experience with Lightyear. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.